Welcome to another episode of Barman Saturdays, and this week I also decided to take a look at Pirate Kids, Blackbeard's Lost Treasure. Arg. Of course, that treasure be mine, bitches. I'll take it by force. Yeah, I know. I knew there's a reason why I bought this cutlass one of these days. I know it's not a very good cutlass, but hey, at least it's something. At any rate, it's really hard to talk about this movie without first admitting it's obviously meant to be a knockoff of this film, The Goonies. So I got in this 3-pack a while back. I honestly need to finish covering the films on this at some point. Maybe I'll work on The Goonies, in one of the upcoming weeks. Definitely want to cover Gremlins for Christmas, though. At any rate, Blackbeard's Lost Treasure is a very cheaply made film. And I mean cheap. Like, this film has an estimated budget of like $70,000. It's a film so unremarkable I can't even find a Wikipedia entry for it anywhere. If it's mentioned, it's probably mentioned as a stub somewhere and isn't easily found, even if you do a Google search specifically for the film. I suppose that's understandable. I mean, this is a film, like I said, with a budget of $70,000 estimated. That's obviously made by local people with local money. I mean, probably how a lot of stuff, just donated for the cause. Like, I'll let you use my museum, on a day we're closed or something, and as long as I get to appear in the film, that sort of thing. Oh, you need to borrow my house? I'll do that if I get to play the grandma character or something like that. Basically, a very cheaply made film with people you've never heard of, directed by someone you've never heard of, and written by the same person, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, a very small local time project, sort of like The Room, only not as bad. At least most of the people here have energy, and you got the mystery plot going for you, like trying to solve the clues that'll lead you to Blackbeard's long-lost treasure that he didn't reveal to the Brethren of the Coast Underground. You can't trust those Brethren of the Coast because they're pirates, and pirates are untrustworthy. I can't let anyone know where I hid my treasure. So, yeah, you're like, we gotta use the... Of course, I have to wonder who hid the treasure, since some of the clues are hidden on, a cup made out of, Blackbeard's skull, so, yeah, go figure. And on his, legendary, black sword. So, yeah. Stuff that you think would have to have been done, partially at least after he died, so... So it's like, let's put clues out there so people can find my treasure, but I don't want to directly tell anyone where it's at. They have to work for it. They have to earn it. So apparently some of the crew knew it, and they just left it. They're like, Blackbeard told us to let others find it, and he's got the power of the devil, so if we don't, do what he says, he'll come back for us. It definitely leaves a hole in the logic of the film somewhat, but let's face it, you're probably not meant to think about that stuff until after the film's over. And honestly, the appeal for me when I was watching the film wasn't so much the fact we get to watch a bunch of no-name actors, because let's face it, you got scenes where they're doing, like, bike montages. Like, let's watch this kid bike with music in the background, because that's definitely appealing. Honestly, it was usually the bad action scenes, because they're just laughably bad. Like, you'll have these barely hit them at all stuff, and it's like, these massive sound effects are going off like they got hit with a really powerful punch or something. It's like, you didn't even look like you hit him, and you're making off a fist sound effect. Reminds me of, Bruce Lee fights back from the grave, that sort of, laziness when it comes to, the fighting scenes. So really, I was just, watching the film, waiting for fighting scenes to come up, and then laughing my butt off, because you're like, this is unbelievably bad. But I like it. It's so bad, it's hilarious. Because they're trying. They're just completely failing. Though I have to admit, there was one bit in the film I liked where these two kids were playing out a scene from, like, that you might see kids do. Like, I remember one time I was in class, and these two people did a hot buns joke. Sort of stuff like that, like small little skits. And this one big kid was pretending to be a bully. And all of a sudden, the main character runs up and kicks him in the balls. And I was like, what on earth are you doing? We're doing a skit! They're like, oops. So yeah, that's one of the few good bits in the film that actually threw me at first. I'm like, that's different. Usually, if you got a bully in the film, that's really what they are. They're just a bully. There's nothing else to it. So I'll give them credit for that. At least it was something more original than what you usually get. But yeah, overall, this is a film you watch more for the lulls and the action, and it works well enough, for what it is. But it's definitely not gonna win you any real serious awards, probably, in the grand scheme of things. Till next time, then. See ya.
Let's settle this like two seafaring gentlemen.
And what are you going to do? Cane me to death? I've been to Singapore, and that's not how it's done.